Welcome to Impact. My name's Zach, and with me is another one of your leaders, Brody. And really wanted to get Brody up here and share with you guys a little bit more about this series as yourself that we've been going through. We've been talking about acceptance, and the reason this whole series came about was really because of Brody. He brought it up in our leader meetings, and so I thought it'd be fun to have Brody share a little bit about it. So Brody, why acceptance? Why?
Acceptance is just something that's been a really I hold dear to my heart for people to find out about, because I think it's something we all go through and we don't even really know we're going through it or looking through it. And it's something that's affected me throughout my life in a lot of negative ways, some positive. And I just think the more people know about it, they might not let it affect them in a negative way.
Yeah. How would we kind of define acceptance? How would you define acceptance?
Well, I got a couple definitions here. I would say acceptance, the quality or state of being accepted or acceptable, and then the act of accepting something or someone, the fact of being accepted, approval.
Right. Yeah, and so obviously with Impact Student Ministries, we're working with a lot of middle school, high school students. So where do you see acceptance kind of being a factor in their lives?
Oh, a lot of ways. If you want somebody to like you, like, hey, I think those guys over there are really cool, and they like football. I'm not a football fan.
Big fan.
Right. Well, maybe they say, hey, did you watch the game this Sunday? You're like, oh yeah, I totally did, but you didn't.
Yeah,
because you want them to like you,
right?
But you don't really like football. But so now you're lying about something just because you want them to think you're cool. Yeah. Or maybe you're hanging out with these kids and you think they're really cool. They're like, hey man, you want to smoke a cigarette? Do you smoke it? I mean, we know smoking's bad. Do you smoke the cigarette?
Right, but there's that balance you're trying to figure out. It's like,
right.
I want these people to like me, and then
But do you do something right? So compromise is another word I got down. Because if you smoke that cigarette, you make a big compromise. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway because these kids are really cool, and I really want to be liked. It ain't even about how cool they are. I really want to be liked. I want to be accepted. I want to be part of something.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of bad choices in my life because of acceptance, and did a lot of stupid things because I wanted to belong to people.
Right.
Maybe like a guy and a girl kiss at school, and he goes and tells all his buddies, hey man, I kissed her, and or maybe even lies about it. Maybe it didn't happen, but he was like, man, these guys are gonna think I'm cool.
Yeah, I remember those conversations around the lunch table all the time.
Right. So do I. And maybe a girl does it because she wants acceptance from a guy, which can lead to a very wrong path, and other things, kissing leads to other things,
Okay, so acceptance, this compromise all sounds really terrible. Is there a good side to acceptance, or what?
There is a good side of acceptance. One more thing though, I think with acceptance, sometimes you hurt people with acceptance. True. And you intentionally, for something, or unintentionally, you don't even know you did it. Like that situation we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You could really hurt the other person, and you might be doing it on purpose, which most people don't hurt each other on purpose.
Right.
You might do it on accident because you want to be accepted and you didn't even know you hurt the other person. But the good thing about acceptance, because there is a good thing about it, God accepts us, and no matter what, doesn't matter if you smoke that cigarette, you shouldn't, but God still accepts you, even if you make bad choices, And that's something that I didn't learn when I was younger. That's my big heart behind being an impact leader, is because I never heard when I was younger that Jesus loves me. Right. And that Jesus loves me no matter what.
Yeah, so what does that look like? Acceptance from God. Loving you no matter what.
It's awesome. And we all know it's awesome. But the hard part of it is that sometimes it isn't what we're looking for. Because we know God accepts us, but when you're at school and you're feeling lonely, you still want the kids over there to accept you.
Right.
And that's why I try to tell the impact students, like, they're the cool kids to me. Because I know they probably have friends that are like, man, you go to impact and like, that's not cool.
That Jesus thing.
But they're still here. And I don't know what it looks like for them at school. And I think acceptance is something you don't get. They don't tell you at school, like, hey, you're looking for acceptance. Right. They don't. And I think it's a really hard thing to talk about, because if you've never dealt with it in a negative way or even a positive way and known that that's what you're dealing with, it's really hard to be like, oh yeah, I was looking for acceptance.
Right.
All my bad choices I made, I didn't know I was looking for acceptance until later on when I started making better choices.
Right.
And learned about acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then learned about that, like, Jesus accepts me no matter what.
Right. Yeah. Having that acceptance from Him can be life-changing. It doesn't mean that we don't want that acceptance from other people and classmates and things, but there's a little bit of confidence in knowing,
Right.
like, hey, the Creator of the universe.
Right. He loves you. And
Yeah.
He thinks you're cool no matter what.
It's
I-
mind-blowing.
I got a good Bible verse too. I actually, I looked for one and could not find one. I even typed it in my wife's ordinance and couldn't find one. Like, there isn't one on acceptance. And yesterday she was messing with my phone
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Oh, I'm going to put it where you just get a Bible verse every day."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what's the Bible verse today?" And it was just like this. And I was like,
No way.
"Whoa, I need that for tomorrow." So Galatians 1:10, "For I am now seeking the approval of man or of God, or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." I think that goes with acceptance.
Yeah, it totally does. It's like trying to figure out who we're following first and foremost, who we're trying to find that acceptance of belonging.
Right. And it's easy to stray off the path
So easy.
because we want to feel good right now.
Mm-hmm.
And even though sometimes it's hard to say, "Oh, I feel really good, God accepts me."
Right.
It's,
There's
you know,
still times you want that acceptance from the people that are literally sitting right next to you.
especially growing up. Growing up is a hard time because you don't even know if you accept yourself when you're growing up.
Because you're still trying to figure out who you
Right.
are
And it's
what
a really hard
direction
thing.
you're going to go in life.
You know, and I just think when we have people to talk to about things like this, or even know what it is, it can just put you on a better path than you're already on. To know that Jesus accepts us no matter what. Like for me, like I said, I made a lot of awful choices in my life, and then to know, like, wow, you did this, and God still thinks I'm cool.
Right. That's like,
You know?
really still love you, man.
Right. That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So acceptance can be really scary though, I think. You know? Like you get a feeling in your stomach.
You do.
Like, oh man, I really want these guys to like me. And it's like, and what if you made a bad choice and they still didn't like you? Man, dude. Yeah.
It's a double whammy there because you wanted them to like you, so you kind of compromised a little bit, like you were talking about, and
Right.
then it wasn't enough. And I feel like that even happens a lot when you're trying to be accepted.
Right.
You reach this standard, and they're like, "Well, how about this?"
Right,
standard?"
yeah.
And-
Maybe are you gonna do something worse than smoking a cigarette? Because this is what's really cool. Smoking a cigarette's kind of cool, but like if we're gonna drink underage, that's really cool, you know.
There's this next thing.
Right, and then it progresses, and I know firsthand what it can progress into, and it's not good. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You don't even care about those guys anymore. Because now your compromises have led you into something way worse
Mm-hmm.
than that, you know, like drug addiction or, you know, just making, committing crimes and things like that, where all of a sudden you don't even know why you made the choices to be.
You start to like not even know who you are,
Right.
like, who at least God created you to be,
Right.
Because you have this whole image like, this is just who I am.
Right. And it's a hard thing to break, you know. But and then you can be accepted, like the football thing. I mean, whatever. You know?
Right.
Maybe you end up liking football. But we should still always say, this is who I am, this is what I like. And you shouldn't have to switch who you are for others to like you.
Right. It's like, so I love you right where you're at. And
Right.
wants to bring freedom from that though too. Like it's like, Brody, I accept you where you are, but I want to bring you into something
Right.
greater. Show you
Right.
like what it looks like to belong to me and my family. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, that's kind of the heart behind this whole acceptance series. And so, if you guys got questions and different things, feel free to message us. Brody and I would love to talk.
Absolutely.
So anything about acceptance, guys, that'd be sweet. We'll have some questions down below too, in case there's different things you want to think about, talk about with your friends even, and
Right.
continue conversations.
Or your
like
parents, you know, it's a good thing. Maybe ask your parents, were you ever struggled with
that.
acceptance?
There you go. Put your parents on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or, you know, and put anybody on that spot, you know. Ask your teacher at school about it, you know. Because I think it's something that gets missed.
Right, like you said, you didn't totally realize you were striving for that acceptance until it actually got talked about.
Right. Until it was too late to know that, oh, I was looking for acceptance, you know. But it's never too late. That's a bad way to word it. But
No,
it's
I get
never
you, though.
too, yeah, you know.
No, That's good. Yeah. Any other wise words of wisdom for him before we peace out?
I don't have any.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys for checking out.
Thanks, guys.
Impact. See you next week.